Every man will face it, the invisible test. It doesn't come with questions or warnings. It comes through silence, contradiction, and emotion. A woman pulls away. She challenges, she doubts, she provokes. And he, confused, calls it drama. But Machiavelli would call it strategy. He would not see it as manipulation, but as instinct, the natural test of power that every human, consciously or not, imposes on those who wish to lead, love, or protect. Because strength is not declared, it is revealed when pressure is applied. Machiavelli understood this principle long before the language of psychology existed. He wrote that men in general judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel. And what women feel deeply, intuitively, is strength. Not arrogance, not noise, but the quiet, centered energy of a man who cannot be shaken by emotion. That is what every test seeks to uncover, the truth of who you are when the mask falls. A woman tests not because she wants to destroy you, but because she wants to see you, to see whether the strength you project is real or just performance, whether your calmness is discipline or repression, whether your confidence is rooted or borrowed. To Machiavelli, every relationship was a microcosm of politics. He believed power, trust, and respect were never granted, only maintained through constant proof. He would say that it is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both. Not because fear is cruelty, but because fear, in its purest sense, means respect without doubt. And in the realm of attraction, that respect is the foundation of desire. For what is love without admiration? What is loyalty without awe? When a woman challenges you, when she questions, when she resists, she is not attacking, she is searching. Searching for something unshakable to trust. Because no woman can truly rest in the presence of a man whose strength collapses under emotion. She may love his softness, but she will not follow it. The test, then, is not about her. It's about you. About whether you can remain grounded when the storm hits. Whether you can understand emotion without drowning in it. Whether your calm is a mask or a fortress. Machiavelli believed that chaos reveals truth faster than time. He studied how leaders behaved under betrayal, under fear, under temptation. He knew that the one who reacts impulsively always loses control. Because the moment you react, you give your power away. And that's exactly what every test measures. Can you stay in control when everything in you wants to break? That is the essence of masculine strength, not domination, but composure. Not aggression, but authority. Not the power to control others, but the power to control yourself. And once you understand this, you stop seeing tests as conflict and start seeing them as opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate what words cannot prove, that your strength is not performance, it's presence. Because in the end, no woman truly wants to break a strong man. She only wants to know that he won't break himself. Machiavelli believed that every bond between human beings, love, friendship, loyalty, hides a quiet negotiation of power. Not dominance, not control, but the eternal question, who depends more on whom? In The Prince, he wrote that alliances last only while interests align. Remove the benefit, and affection dissolves. It sounds cold, yet it explains why so many relationships crumble when tested. Because beneath emotion lies instinct, the drive to seek stability, safety, and value. In love, this balance of value takes the form of respect. Respect is what holds attraction long after beauty fades. And respect is born not from words, but from energy, from how you carry yourself when life stops being comfortable. Machiavelli saw human emotion as a mirror of politics. Each side observes, measures, and tests the other, not to destroy, but to understand what the other truly stands on. Because it is easy to be gentle when all is calm. It is only under pressure that character reveals itself. In that sense, emotional tests are not games, they are signals. They happen every time two people try to discover if they can trust one another's strength. Can you stay calm when challenged? Can you stay kind without being weak? Can you listen without losing yourself? This is not about gender, it is about human nature. Both men and women instinctively seek someone whose presence brings order to their inner chaos. We are drawn to people who make us feel anchored, not those who mirror our storms. That is why Machiavelli admired balance above all things. He said that the prince must be both lion and fox. The lion to command respect, the fox to sense danger before it arrives. Too much lion, and you become feared but unloved. Too much fox, and you are clever but never trusted. In relationships, this duality becomes emotional intelligence. Strength with empathy, firmness with warmth. Power, in its truest form, is invisible. It is the calm in your tone, the patience in your silence, the steadiness in your eyes when others expect reaction. That composure is what earns respect, not force, not arrogance. Because confidence that must shout isn't confidence. And love that demands proof isn't love. Machiavelli would say that people test limits because fear is built into the human condition. We fear betrayal. We fear loss. So we seek signs of strength before surrendering trust. In that sense, every person tests the other consciously or not to see, can I feel safe here? The paradox is that the stronger you are within yourself, the less you need to prove it. Power that needs to be displayed is already insecure. Real strength is quiet, it speaks through consistency. That is what disarms resistance and earns loyalty. Not manipulation, not control, but presence. Because in every relationship, whether political or personal, the one who governs emotion governs connection. Machiavelli would not call this romance. He would call it strategy of the soul. And perhaps, in that sense, every test between two hearts is simply nature's way of asking, can you remain steady in a world that constantly trembles? Love, to Machiavelli, was not a fairy tale. It was an alliance, a fragile contract between emotion and reason, desire and fear. And like all alliances, it could not survive without balance. He observed that people crave what they cannot fully understand. That mystery sustains desire, and familiarity weakens it. So, in his eyes, the power within love was not about control, it was about tension. The subtle, invisible line between closeness and independence. Give too much, and you lose respect. Give too little, and you lose connection. The art lies in the middle, the place where presence meets restraint. This is what Machiavelli would call emotional governance. Not dominance, but design. Because emotion without discipline leads to chaos, and discipline without emotion leads to emptiness. A wise soul must master both. He might have said that love is a kind of kingdom, and every kingdom needs structure, or it falls to anarchy. But that structure must not become tyranny. It must allow freedom, yet preserve order. The same applies to relationships. They collapse when emotion becomes law, and die when logic becomes prison. Only when both forces coexist, heart and mind, empathy and self-respect, can a bond endure. In his political writings, Machiavelli noted that people often love rulers who bring them hope, but they obey rulers who bring them certainty. It is the same with affection. Hope inspires attraction, but certainty sustains it. And certainty can only come from inner balance. To be balanced is not to be emotionless. It is to feel deeply, yet remain unmoved by chaos. It is to love fiercely without losing yourself in that love. Because once your identity dissolves in devotion, respect begins to erode, and without respect, love withers. Machiavelli would likely warn, never give someone more power over your peace than you give yourself. Because the moment you do, your emotions are no longer yours, they become tools in someone else's hands. He wasn't cynical, he was precise. He understood that love built on dependence cannot last. Every true connection must be a meeting of equals, two complete individuals who choose, not need, each other. Anything less becomes imbalance, and imbalance breeds resentment. Modern psychology agrees with what Machiavelli intuited centuries ago. Power and vulnerability are not enemies, they are partners. Too much power suffocates intimacy. Too much vulnerability destroys self-worth. But when both coexist, love becomes growth, not possession. In this balance, honesty has its place too. Not the brutal honesty that wounds, nor the false one that pleases, but a measured truth, one that protects both dignity and connection. Because truth, like power, is only beautiful when wielded with wisdom. Machiavelli would remind us that the world will always test your balance. People will provoke you to react, emotions will tempt you to surrender, but your peace must remain under your own command. That is where real attraction is born, in presence without performance. The calm man, the centered woman they do not chase, they attract. They do not prove, they embody. Their stability becomes a kind of gravity. And everyone, whether they understand it or not, feels drawn toward that calmness. That is the kind of power Machiavelli respected. Not the force that bends others, but the stillness that makes others bend themselves. Because true strength is not control over others. It's the ability to remain unmoved in a world ruled by impulse. And perhaps that is the ultimate test of love. Can you stay centered while opening your heart? Can you be soft without breaking, firm without freezing, honest without bleeding? Those who can lead without ruling and love without losing. Machiavelli spent his life observing kingdoms fall, not because of weakness in their armies, but weakness in their hearts. He understood that power collapses from within, long before it is conquered from without. And the same truth applies to love. Every relationship is its own small republic. There are alliances, negotiations, betrayals, moments of peace, and moments of rebellion. It thrives when both sides respect the balance of power, and it decays when one side seeks to rule the other. In the realm of emotion, the throne belongs not to the one who dominates, but to the one who understands. The one who can observe human nature without judgment, who sees emotion not as chaos, but as code. Machiavelli would call this emotional intelligence the highest form of strategy. Because if you can read the heart, you can lead it not through fear or manipulation, but through awareness. To him, love without understanding was like a kingdom without walls, beautiful for a moment, doomed by its openness. He would remind us that affection is not sustained by passion alone. Passion burns fast and blinds quickly. What endures is structure, the invisible order that keeps love from turning into dependence and respect from turning into pride. In the politics of the heart, everyone seeks safety. Men seek it in respect. Women seek it in certainty. But both, deep down, are searching for the same thing, stability. The feeling that the ground beneath them will not crumble when emotions rise. That is why power and love are forever intertwined. Each tests the other. Power without love becomes tyranny. Love without power becomes slavery. The balance between the two is freedom, where each gives without losing and receives without demanding. Machiavelli would have seen modern relationships as a reflection of nations at war with themselves. Too many promises, too few principles, too much emotion, too little understanding. Everyone wants loyalty, but few offer consistency. Everyone wants truth, but few can handle silence. He would say that love, like leadership, demands the same virtues: discipline, patience, perception, and restraint. Because the moment you let your emotions rule, you stop ruling your life. To master the politics of the heart, You must first master yourself, not to suppress emotion, but to guide it. Not to hide love, but to refine it. Because love is not the absence of power, it is its most refined expression. The wise understand that affection and respect must coexist, that the warmth of connection must never erase the structure of self, that giving your heart does not mean surrendering your mind. And perhaps, in the silence between reason and desire, we discover the truest form of strength, the courage to love with clarity. Because love without clarity is worship. But love with clarity, that is partnership. It's two souls walking side by side, not one chasing the other. Machiavelli would call this the perfect equilibrium of human nature, the meeting point between chaos and order, emotion and control. He would say that only those who understand both sides can build something that lasts. So, what does it mean when someone challenges you, questions you, or tests your patience? It means life is asking the same question it asks every ruler, every leader, every lover. Can you stay centered when emotion tries to pull you apart? That is the heart's true battlefield, not between man and woman, not between love and reason, but between the part of you that reacts and the part of you that remains. Because the heart, like any kingdom, obeys those who govern it wisely.